Are you a single Muslim man looking to get married?
I've got the perfect opportunity for you.
We are hosting London's biggest single Muslim marriage event right here in Canary Wharf. Instead of using those apps, come on down, meet people face to face and have a proper conversation with someone. Potentially meet your future partner.
That's right. Ladies first. It's a good rule most of the time, and logical if you consider that the reason is to make things easier for the lady.
See here, I wouldn't expect her to scoot down. I would let her in her side, close the door, and then walk around the back of the car and get in the other side. Now this is so uncommon. It's the right way to do things. That's proper chivalry, in my opinion. But this is so uncommon that I once did this when an Uber pulled up. I was with a lady, actually just a friend, it wasn't even a date, but I still opened the door for her. She got in, I walked around to go through the other side, and the Uber started driving off.
Women are choosing to be single and dealing with shit because y'all sat here and gave us so much shit on why we should be doormats to your emotions.
Come on, Randy.
Opposed to accountability for the fact that you ain't healed yourself from the shit as mama did to you.
For those who don't know, I'm on stage next to Randy when she says this. And another thing that y'all may not know is this. Randy has a husband. She's married. So while she's talking about choosing to be single, she chose to be married. So y'all are out here by yourselves with all this choosing to be single stuff. Because Randy has a whole husband. Just keep that in mind.
A lot of men nowadays, they listen to these modern women and they're choosing to stay single. They're choosing peace. I don't want to be bothered with foolishness anymore. I think that's okay, don't you? Anyway, if you're going to give me problems, I'm not going to date.
Do you think it's a surplus of good men? Because let me tell you, it's not.
It is.
It's not.
Y'all know what y'all called them? Y'all called them lames.
They do be lame.
No, see, the reality is that y'all wanted the dope boys. I see women today, they don't even like guys that got regular jobs no more. And then you want to complain about your health care coverage. Stop dating these women based off of where they are. Because you're going to be much greater than you are right now. Find women based off of where you're going. When you're dealing with a woman and you basing your standards off of where you are, you will take anything. You'll take her based off of what she look like. She not built for the rooms that you're going to be in. And so what that means for the women is that y'all got to get y'all game together. Because the guys that y'all call lame, they not going to be lame for the rest of their life. They're going to be some of the most phenomenal dudes. They're going to be the ones that create the companies. They're going to be the ones that got the benefits. And they're going to be the ones y'all going to want to take care of y'all badass kids.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video.
I wouldn't go as far as to say that women chivalry, whether you look at from Cardi B to Beyonce or working moms like myself or even countless others, what we have done is we have evolved the conversation of what it means to be a woman in today's society. And what that means is, we're doing it all. And it basically means that men have to basically rise to the occasion to meet us where we are. We are not, the mothers of our past, and there was nothing wrong with that, but we are getting our arms involved in a lot of things, and we're busy doing and juggling millions of things. So chivalry is not in the essence of we don't want men to open doors for us, but what we are saying is, you have to handle us and you have to handle our full-time job as well.
Having to handle a woman isn't exactly my dream scenario. I think what a lot of people fail to realize is that men are the true romantics. Men at least used to enjoy being chivalrous and treating women favorably, but a lot of times men are still chivalrous, and sometimes women get offended by it or they find it corny and cringe.
A lot of modern women don't really understand that divorce and, really even before you get to divorce, relationships cost a lot. They cost a lot. And, honestly, now that I say that, I think modern women do understand that relationships do cost a lot. That's why they're trying to make men shoulder all of it. And men are like, no, I'm not going to be doing that. That's why you see a lot of men opt out of dating. They quit, just entirely.
Black people are polygamous. We are polygamous. I ain't even here to talk to y'all too long about it because I know what it is. Find you a girlfriend, introduce her to your boyfriend, and you guys live together. Find the best woman you've ever known in your entire life and tell her, hey, I think we should share this divine king. A lot of women need another woman in their household. But a lot of women don't want to follow in those steps. Because you know why? It doesn't align with their expectations and their feminism. Monogamy is the only dynamic that promotes narcissism. Women are actually the ones that wanted polygamy in the first place. They wanted polygyny. They chose that for their household. They wanted to help their friends out. They wanted to help mothers and the women across the land. They weren't selfish, insecure. Jealousy and hatred was put onto us. It's not even ours. That's the whole reality of it. So a lot of people need to start unlearning and relearning. Nature's polygamous. You go into the forest right now, every tree, every leaf, every vine depends on another to grow and succeed. Nature is polygamous. So are you. If men are naturally polygamous, so are you.
All right.
Have fun. Call me if you need me.
All right. Some of these guys fingered me.
Imagine just humiliating your husband at that level too, right? Guy should have turned around and been like, honey, hey, get back in the car. Yeah, that's disrespectful. So we're not going to do the high school reunion if it's dirty, nasty. Secondly, you didn't tell me that you were in high school. That's what I would have said. Wow, I didn't know. I might have given me some pause about whether to get involved. Something to think about, I guess.
You know, it's funny because a lot of these modern women, they'll come to a first date with a list of things, literal lists of things that they're expecting from a guy. I want you, I want your therapist. I want the exact number. I want the exact number of therapy sessions that you've gone to within the last 3 weeks. How long were they? What object lessons did you learn from that? Which the object lessons I really don't have a problem with, but they want to grill you on the questions that they want to know. But all it takes from you is one question, 2 questions, one question actually. Let me jump it back down to one question. What do you bring to the table? And then the date is over. They beat and ask you about your family history. And then one question is like, oh yeah, you're pretty thorough. Now, let me go ahead and ask you. What do you bring to the table? Oh man, insulting.
Manners are disappearing. Number one, guys who don't walk on the outside when you're walking with a woman. Gentlemen, if you are walking with a woman after a date and you're walking on a sidewalk, you walk on the outside, not the inside. This one, me and you talked about, I think, a couple of days ago, okay? If a woman stands up to go to the restroom, you stand with her, all right? This would be like if, you're sitting right there, I'm going to stand. And a lot of times, all it is just like a little half stand. It's letting somebody know I recognize that you're leaving the table. Number 3, I like this one. I think opening the door is still around. We mentioned this one a minute ago, making eye contact and giving a firm handshake. The floppy fish is a real thing, okay? Like if you're, doing this, folks, everybody, proper handshake, web to web, all right? That's what you need to lock it in there, web to web, and give a firm handshake. This one, me and you both loved, offering your seat. I remember back in college when we would ride on like the buses that would go around University of Florida. If a woman is standing on a crowded bus and you are sitting and you do not offer her your seat, you're nothing more than a jerk.
I went on a date last night and this man was like talking to me about his hobbies and stuff, and he was asking me if I like camping. And I was like, I like the idea of camping. And then I literally looked at this man in his face, first date, while we're eating. And I said, I just can't be in the woods, as long as there's a toilet for me to use. He does want to go on another date, though.
Safe to say that man is now in love with you. Men love authenticity, especially early on. You're talking on the first date. He loves that because that means that you are comfortable being who you are in front of him, and he doesn't have the cherry-picked version of you. He knows what he's signing up for and he likes it. Plus, this only benefits you because you're setting your boundaries with him. Like, he knows that you just want to go somewhere with a toilet and then you're willing to camp, and heck, you're willing to camp with him. That is a huge green flag. That is a win-win all the way around.
And I think it really has come to a point to where, women are starting to really see men missing in action. Where are the men at? Used to be in coffee shops, or they used to be over here. They used to be everywhere. Men used to be everywhere. It's just not the case anymore, right? The reason that a lot of these modern women really noticed a man is because a man was in their face, right? And so when something is in your face, then you're more likely to say, oh, here's one over here, here's one over there. You know what I mean? Like, say, for instance, one thing that my wife says is like, man, I never noticed, the type of car that you drive until I got with you. And you'd be like, they're all over the place. I've noticed them. That's why I got one, because I noticed it all the time. But that's how people, if I see something, then I'm focused in on it. I'm locked into it. When men used to talk to modern women, then they were like, oh, the men are everywhere. Man's over here, man's over there. I can get a man, there's a man. You'll never have to worry about a man. But now that men are kind of pulling back, then they're like, where are the men at? Well, the men are still right where they've always been. They're right in front of your face. It's just, you don't notice them because they don't talk to you anymore.
One thing you can always count on is that the absence of a good person is always felt. Always. Always. And a good woman, the absence is felt. A good man, the absence is felt. It doesn't matter what the context is, whether it's a friend, a romantic partner, a business partner, a colleague. It truly doesn't matter what the context of the dynamic or the relationship or whatever. The absence, having a good person playing a role, and that person of their own free will leaving, will always be felt. Always. And the thing is that good people are really rare to find in 2025. And so if you have a good person, you better your ego. You better learn to apologize or say, I'm sorry, or humble yourself or say, yo, I missed the mark. You better not let this social media stuff get you so twisted, you know what I'm saying? So spiraled out that you mistreating good people, you kick them to the curb, whatever the case may be, because of your ego. You're going to suffer for it. I am telling you this as someone who has watched it happen, as someone who has seen it happen. A good person, the absence of a good person, treat people the right way. If they're valuable, tell them that. Apologize. Go above and beyond for people, y'all. Good people, selfless people are rare.
You might hate me for saying this, but I cringe every time I hear a woman say I'm celibate. Why? Because you're putting a word curse on your marriage. And I believe Christian women have been mislabeling themselves for years. This was me too. You're not celibate, you're abstinent. And the difference could be blocking your blessing. Celibacy is a lifetime vow to never marry. Abstinence is waiting until marriage. So for example, when nuns take a vow of celibacy, they're promising God that they'll never have husbands or kids. Their husband is Jesus, and they're dedicating their singleness to the kingdom service forever. But sis, you are not a nun, okay? To be honest, you can't really be celibate until marriage because it's kind of contradictory. It's like saying I'm divorced until I get married. And just remember that the Bible says that singleness is a gift to some, not all. Most people on earth are called to marriage. But when you keep saying I'm celibate, you're in a way speaking a curse over your future, because what you're essentially saying is that you have chosen permanent singleness. So instead, let's start saying I'm abstinent and preparing for marriage. A little bit better, right? My husband and I, we guide women from single to wifey with faith and strategy. Comment the word boot camp to stop questioning what's wrong with me and step into confidence.
And one of the things I don't think modern women understand, or they don't want to really give men credit for, is a man being competent. Right? And so they think the way they do things is the more competent way. And they'll sit up in your face and talk to you as if the stuff that you're doing is wrong. Like, God forbid, I don't need art and decoration and all this other stuff. I mean, it's nice to have, but I don't really need it in my apartment. That's not a need. Well, you don't have all these foods, this, and this in your apartment. It's just me. Why would I have a fridge full of stuff that I'm not going to eat? I have the food that I eat. Oh man, you got this, you got that. You only got ground beef and rice. is there anything else I actually need? I mean, yeah, I can switch it up and find some other stuff. But there was one woman upset about trainers telling them what to eat and how to operate at a caloric deficit. Basically, as I think I remember it. They don't know women's bodies. What? So they say a lot of stupid stuff. They try to act like men aren't competent, when really it's just that he doesn't do it the way that you want him to do it. He doesn't allow you to get away with stuff that's not actually true. That's not actually true.
So all the men coming out saying, we built the world, look, we built skyscrapers and roads and bridges. The question needs to be asked, who the f*** asked you to? Who the f*** asked you to? Typical trait of men, because most married women will know. You have a Christmas party or a function that you're hosting at your house, and what needs to be done is the house needs to be cleaned and the food needs to be cooked. But lo and behold, your husband will go and paint a room or clean the roof. When it came to building the world, who asked you to build skyscrapers? Who asked you to build satellites?
I really cannot believe what I'm hearing.
What the world really needed is to feed the hungry and the children and make the world safe. In fact, we wouldn't need skyscrapers and this level of farming if patriarchy didn't force women to push out babies to over 8 billion people today. Because women sure ask for this.
Yes. Blame the patriarchy. Classic. Absolutely just classic. But frankly, it's starting to sound a bit old. A bit like a broken record, in fact. So instead of trying to blame men for everything in the world that one doesn't happen to like, why not just have some personal fortitude and admit that one just doesn't like men? That would be so much easier. But I do understand that doing so would involve actually having to take some accountability.
You know, a lot of these modern women like to continue to treat men like a clown. Amusement. Why does a man approach me? There's a lot of risks involved in approaching. There's a lot of disrespect involved in approaching. It don't matter where you go, seemingly with these modern women nowadays, you get treated like you crossed some type of line and you done something wrong. Like you just, eliminated somebody. That's the way they treat you. They look at you like you're a criminal off bat. Let me ask you a question. Who would want to go through that? Which person? Even you. If you go up, like say for instance, if you're sitting in a restaurant and you go up to a waiter and you say, hey, we hadn't gotten our drinks yet. It'd be okay if, we haven't been able to order, haven't had anybody come to our table to even see what we wanted or greet us. If that whole staff turned around and looked at you like, what are you doing over here? You instantly leave a review and walk out of there and go find somewhere else to go. Don't go here. It's trash. The service was terrible. We got seated. Nobody. I was reading a post today or over just down the line. People say, oh, it's a trash place. The food is trash and the service was even worse. They're leaving reviews about it. And so now, even if I was thinking about going, I'm not going because you telling me the service is so bad. That's how you are as a modern woman. Nobody's approaching you because you're disrespectful. It is a risk to approach you. Now they're looking at you saying, man, if this woman is trash, if her attitude is trash, why would I even be over there?
You need to watch out for this man. The man who shows you high interest in the very beginning, to the point where he sometimes is like begging you to hang out with him, like begging you to see him, begging you to give him a little bit of attention. The ones that try so hard to get your attention and you're just like, yeah, whatever. And then he tries even harder. And then you're like, yeah, whatever. And then all of a sudden you're like, do I like this man? He's giving me attention. He's showing up for me. He's consistent. Maybe I do like him. And then you start to give him a chance. And then as soon as you let your guards down, give him a chance, he withdraws his energy completely. When a man is showing you high interest in the very beginning, maybe he wants to get to know you, fine. But any guy in their healthy, masculine, willing to take on an emotionally available relationship is not going to apply overwhelming amount of pressure to you in order to get you to give him a little bit of attention, a little bit of your time. He knows what he has to offer. He doesn't have to work as hard as as these men who are literally begging for your energy. A man in his healthy masculine is, yes, going to be consistent with you. He's going to follow up with you. He's going to do what he says he's going to do. He's going to move the ticks along, but it's not going to come from a place where you feel overwhelmed. The guy who's begging, as soon as he has it, he's out, he's done, he's on to the next. So if a man is giving you high energy in the very beginning, do not bite. If he's actually serious about you, he will show up over a consistent amount of time.
Stop marrying for happiness. The purpose of marriage is to be holy. It is to mimic the covenant or the marriage between Christ and the body, which is us, the church, which is why the Bible says that when a husband marries his woman, he leaves his mother and his father and they become one. This is why the Bible says that a husband must love his wife the way that Christ loves the church, and how a woman must respect her husband. It is the same thing that we are to give to Christ and what Christ does for us. Now, you wouldn't use a knife to eat spaghetti because you know that it would injure you. So when people get into marriage without the intent to use or to be in marriage for what the purpose of it is, and then you get hurt, you want to disdain marriage. You wouldn't use that knife, eat the spaghetti, get hurt, and then blame the knife and say, I'll never use a knife again. The irony in marriage is that people want to get married and they're looking to be happy and they're looking for a selfless love, but nobody's willing to give selfless love. Selfless love requires you to yourself, and guess what? It also requires you to do serve, which is another thing that people don't want to hear. Nobody wants to submit, but in marriage, both the husband and the wife must yield to each other, and that's the only difference between having a covenant on earth and a covenant with Christ. Christ doesn't yield to us, but we must yield to our husbands. Our husbands must yield to us because people don't like the word submit. We have to yield to each other. And guess what happens when you get into marriage with the purpose of being holy, the purpose of being righteous, the purpose of serving one another? Happiness comes because now both people's needs are being met. So if you are marrying for pure happiness, you're already going into marriage with this selfish mentality of what can this person do for me?
A lot of these modern women want men to be on a perpetual sort of courting, to where, I can understand, well, I want my man to bring me flowers, even after we stop, quote unquote, dating, even after we're in a relationship. But it's a little bit different because while, your man should take care of you and do all of the nice things for you, modern women act as if they don't even know the man. Like he's somebody new. It'd be one thing, oh, this is my husband, but he still takes care of me. But modern women are acting like men who they're in a relationship with are perfect strangers. You got every single day, you got to start from the bottom, like I don't even know you, and talk to me, treat me like I don't even know you. That means expensive and extravagant things. Every single time that you see me, you got to go get the car and bring me in a car and stuff like. And mind you, this woman has never really moved out of, oh, well, I got you a t-shirt. Oh, I got you a baseball cap from the gas station. She's not moved out of that. You see, in the beginning, she might have, oh, well, let me take care of dinner now. But now when she gets familiar with you, oh, well, let me get you a ball cap from the gas station. You want a Snickers bar every so often? I was at work and I thought about you, and I bought you 3-month-old Butterfinger. I bought you an ice cream cone that's been sitting in the freezer 3 months now. That's the type of stuff that they do to men. But they want a man to be fresh. They want a man to buy me expensive bags, give me the soft life on command. You should be doing it regularly. You should be doing it without me having to even ask, but also when I request it, and specifically what I ask for. What kind of deal, I ask you again, what kind of deal is that? What kind of man would want to partake in that deal?
Men, beware of your wife's single friends. Men, listen up. Your wife's single friends, they will sabotage your marriage if you let it. They sneak in, they whisper, and they poison. Before you know it, your marriage is breaking down. And you think I'm exaggerating and I'm doing this for likes? No, here are some facts. Studies show that divorce spreads like a virus through social networks. If a friend gets divorced, your odds of divorcing jump up to 75%. Let me repeat, your odds of divorcing jump 75% if her bestie gets divorced. Drill this into your brain. Single women are keeping women single. Peer influence is real. She will prioritize her bestie's feelings over yours, especially if her crew is full of divorcees. They're not healing. They're recruiting. Girl, you deserve better. Girl, oh my gosh, I can't believe he said that to you. Oh my goodness, he is so controlling. Sound familiar? Friends, divorces make divorce seem normal and less stigmatized. Divorcees get together, pulling each other down. They don't care about your kids, your mortgage, or your future. They want her single, swiping, and miserable with them. Protect your marriage, my dudes. Vet those friends ASAP. If her friends is single and salty, red flags. Cut them off or watch your wife join the divorce club. Divorce is contagious, so protect what is yours.
Oh, okay. He followed a woman on... Is he only supposed to follow men? What if he likes her content? What if that's his cousin? What if that's his sister? And what kind of time do you have to sit there and see what every single person he's following is? You're gonna take a small little thing and turn it into a major betrayal that he didn't deserve. Now, did he send inappropriate messages to her? Is he texting her? Is he flirting with her? That would be different. If you're insecure, just say that. Go tell him that. You don't need to escalate it into a major thing. Or you're purposely hurting him. He wasn't thinking when he followed that woman, oh, I can't wait to hurt her today. Why can't you just say, hey, this bothers me. Can we sit down and talk about it for a minute? And part of me thinks that if this was your first thought, that you're just looking for an excuse to cheat at that point. Because, I mean, don't you have like personal values against cheating that you wouldn't do it? Because you don't want to be that type of person? You can't walk around saying you want loyalty in a relationship and then turn around and cheat on somebody. You see how that doesn't work? You have to be loyal both ways. You have to want the loyalty from the other person, but also be loyal yourself.
If a man is trying to please a woman, a man will lose his mind trying to deal with that because women ultimately don't even know what they want. And because women are so emotional, it don't matter what you did all the way up until the moment she's mad. When she's mad, she'll destroy everything because she didn't get her way in these 5 minutes.
That it's just this kind of universal experience that women have with men of them not asking questions. Every girl has this. We all talk about it all the time. It's big all over the internet. It's like a known thing that men are, in general, not great at asking questions.
Why do you think that is?
So, good stuff.
Thank you. I mean, I'm curious.
So my friend, Zach Zucker, because he's a comedian, I'm with Zach and I said, what do you think? He's like, I actually feel like I know what it is. And it's that when men get together, we don't ask each other questions. We just talk about things. I barely know anything about my best friends. We just talk and the conversation just goes here and there. And we're not really doing this like interview style type thing. Women, we really do that. And so it's like the man and the woman are getting together, expecting the interaction to be like how they feel when they're most comfortable with somebody, like they're a woman with her female friends and a man with his male friends. And then we're trying to recreate that level of comfort and camaraderie with each other, although we have extremely different communication styles. So it's just like this.
Does that make you feel any negative way, or have you accepted that?
I've sort of accepted that. And now I've realized like any guy who's like just a little bit on the internet kind of knows that this is a problem and has kind of corrected for it. And then some guys don't.
Do you ever wonder why guys in the church don't ask girls out? My name is Kate Warman. I'm a dating coach and a national best-selling author. Guys are not asking girls out in the church because honestly, they fear rejection just as much as us ladies do. They also oftentimes don't really want to risk getting a bad reputation in front of their entire church community. And so ladies, one thing that we can do in the church is stop talking poorly about our brothers in our church communities. Instead, we can start encouraging them, empowering them, and praying for them. Good Christian guys do exist, but if you want to find them, you should probably get online because over 50% of people are meeting online. But one thing is, don't get discouraged. Amazing Christian men do exist. The more you start really believing that, the more you'll start to see it all around you. Follow for more tips.
Men are really making it easy for women to be okay.
alone. Like, literally. I was literally at the fucking gas station, and this man just kept staring at me. And I saw him. He was handsome, cute, put together, but he just kept staring. And so he left the line, went outside, and stood by his car. He pumped his gas. I came out. I was like, okay, maybe he's going to speak. I walked by his car because I had to walk by his car to get to my car. This man said, hey, yo, you got a name. Everybody has a fucking name. You mean to tell me you can't say, hey, I saw you standing there. I think you're beautiful. My name is so-and-so. What is yours? What happened to men being able to hold a fucking conversation or just approach you properly? Even if I did not want to give you my number, I still would have held a conversation and been polite about it. But when he said, hey, yo, you got a name? I said, nope. And kept walking. I miss the days where men actually approached you in public and knew what the fuck to say. I feel like all the movies like The Wood, How to Be a Player, even that taught you how to approach somebody. I mean, The Brothers, at least those movies taught y'all how to have game. Men have lost game in 2026. The internet has ruined y'all game. Y'all don't even know how to approach a woman in public. I don't remember the last time I was approached in public by a man and he had a full sentence. Like, hi, my name is so-and-so. I saw you standing there. I think you're beautiful. What is your name? That is so simple. Why can't y'all do that?
You know, I'm sick of seeing girls and stuff being on TikTok being like, oh, he was insecure. Like, he was just insecure. And, you know, his relationship just didn't work out. Oh, he was insecure? So he didn't want you going out partying late at night without him at a frat with a bunch of drunk guys that want to sleep with you, with your hoe friends that do sleep around with guys and cheat? Oh, I'm sorry. He was insecure. Like, dude, it's trust. If you really loved him, you wouldn't want to go do those things. Like, when I love a girl, let's say I want to go do something, and she's like, that makes me uncomfortable. Because I love her, I don't sit here and go, oh, you're insecure. Or you're being controlling. I do what's to make it better. What's more important, that frat party or your boyfriend? Because I guarantee you, he's not insecure. He just loves you and doesn't trust you around men because he is a man and he knows exactly how men are. And men will sleep with anything they can nowadays. They take one sip of alcohol and they sleep with a couch. Anyways.
Guys, why am I single for Christmas? I don't understand. I'm a hard worker. I'm pretty. I have a 20-year-old body. And yeah, I'm just confused, like, why I'm single for Christmas.
You're delusional. That's the main reason. Number one, you don't have a 20-year-old body. That's just, come on now. Number two, you said you were pretty. Well, it's giving middle-aged mom. I'm not trying to be rude. And I guarantee you, you have unrealistic high standards. I guarantee you want a 6-figure man that's 6 foot with washboard abs, and you want all of these things, but you are not able to attract those types of men. Those types of men don't want you. You're going to have to settle for a man that's in your lane. You just want a man that's way above you, and that's not how this works. Y'all have to be realistic, especially when you're at an elderly age, okay? You're at an elderly age, probably in 10 years you'll be able to claim a senior citizen's discount somewhere, lady. Look, we have to become realistic. If you want to be in a relationship, you have to remove those delusions and say, okay, I'm getting old. You're probably menopause. Menopause probably kicked in. You can't even have children. That's a woman's youth, a woman's fertility. That's her value right there. Nothing else. That's her value. When you lose that, you lost your fertility, you lost your youth. You need to lower your standards at that point.
Okay, so I was a little bit hesitant about sharing this. Exactly 1 month from now will be my 3-year anniversary of being celibate. And honestly, the main reason why I've been celibate is just that I'm just not where I want to be in life yet. And I know the whole red pill, Andrew Tate, the other guys, I don't know the other guys. But me, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other men can relate to this, I still believe in love. I still believe in marriage, family, kids. I still believe in all of that. And so with me, but still believing in all of that, I personally want to be able to give my wife and my kids everything. Like personally, I don't want my wife to work. I don't want my kids to have to worry about anything. And at this moment, I can't do that. And that's why right now I've just been working on myself to one day get to the point where I can take care of my wife, my family. We go on vacations. We can do all the whole 9, the white picket fence, the little poodle, whatever dog she wants, you know.
You're telling me that
home. A woman's not tired. She has to clean, cook, do the dishes, do the laundry. Are you kidding me?
Why don't you want to do that?
What are you talking about? Why don't I want to? You know how fucking tiring that is? Have you done that?
First of all, I do it every day.
First of all, do not choose a woman who don't want to be a woman.
Right.
So you don't want to be a woman. No, you don't want to be a woman.
Yelling doesn't mean you're winning an argument. It's a sign of low intelligence. You can lower your voice and speak to me. I'm sitting right here. I can hear you.
And you're yelling.
All this, I cook and I clean, and like, yeah, that's part of your function. But when your tire is flat, my function is to make sure you have a new tire.
But
when
that's
your
what
car
I'm
need an
saying.
oil change, it's my job to make sure these people ain't ripping you off. We have different duties and functions and responsibilities. And if you don't love your duty, your function, your responsibility, you're not fit to be a wife, period.
When a man moves on, it's not because he never loved you. It's not because he never liked you. It's not because he wasn't interested. It's simply the fact that, and if you're sensitive, don't watch this, but it's the fact that he understands he has other options. He's not going to put his life on hold for you because he understands his worth. Why is he going to wait around for you? Are you doing the same thing? You're probably flirting with other guys. You're probably trying to numb the pain, drinking, whatever it is. Like, a lot of women think, how can you move on so quickly from me? Probably because during the whole entire relationship, you were disrespecting him. It's easy to move on from someone like that, to be honest. And the only way that he cannot move on from you is if you were a good person. Because even if you treated him bad, if you were a good person, then it should be hard for him. One-on-one coaching will be my Bible.
So you were telling me on the walk over here, I wanted to tell the camera again, there's been threats made to you from creepy dudes online to the pizza store?
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of phone calls, people calling, asking for me, and it's so funny because they'll call and everyone that works there will tell them something different. We have a guy that calls constantly. He'll call and it got to the point where I would just answer it and just hang up.
What was he saying when you picked up?
Just like, where's Pizza Girl? There was this one guy that was like, I want to eat Pizza Girl, like just super like off the wall stuff.
Would you say that you're an introvert or an extrovert?
Definitely an introvert. This
Really?
is a little bit out of my comfort
So
zone.
you do not like attention?
No.
What did you think to yourself, and how did you feel when you saw the first video go into the millions?
When I saw the first video, I was so nervous. I was like, oh my gosh, like everyone's gonna see this. I was more like self-conscious, I guess.
Yeah.
But now, like, I don't know, I don't really read the comments or anything like that.
How long have you been making pizzas?
Almost 3 years.
Okay.
It's my personal opinion that the more satisfying marriages are born from friendship. And so if you would like to be married, you need to find more like-minded friends. You have to expand your social circles, and you have to find people who you enjoy hanging out with. And the more opportunities that you create for yourself, then the more possibilities there are of finding a potential spouse. And so how do you expand your social circles? You use your hobbies and your interests to find other people who enjoy the same thing, and you just keep expanding and meeting people that way. I know that this is really hard. You're going to have to put yourself out there, and so you are going to have to muster up all of your social skills and get rid of your social anxiety and just go out and just keep meeting people. Now, the added benefit of doing something like this, though, is that there's a good chance that you may find somebody who enjoys the same things that you do. There are a lot of people out there who are going to say that if you are looking to get married, then what you have to do is work on yourself first. And there is absolute truth to that. The problem is there's going to be a lot of things about yourself that you don't even know needs changing until you're in a committed relationship. And so you work on your humility and you work on your ability to compromise, and always work on yourself to change for the better.
I'm just enjoying being single right now. Says the woman who looks like my future wife, who I just want to bring painkillers and a hot water bottle when it's her time of the month. It's always the babes that have everything you're looking for. They tick every single box that are enjoying being single the most. I'll tell you why. Because someone's son made her hate being taken. These babes literally have everything. A serious job title, a passion project, they journal, they have good skin, they go Pilates on their lunch break or in the morning. Babe, if you give me a chance, I promise I can learn to love matcha and Melissa's wardrobe. Let me be a part of your failed culinary dream. Picture this. I'm in the kitchen. I'm passing you the wrong utensils and you respond, you know how you can help? Just get out the kitchen. You might enjoy being single, but you need me to come and wash the dishes when you inevitably use half the kitchen to cook. I don't even know why you guys do that. Jokes aside, shout out to the women that are enjoying being single right now, but please stop starving us. You don't even need to bring anything to the table. I mean, you guys are the table, right? And round here, we love eating off the table.
One thing I love about me, especially young me growing up, is that no man could ever, you're very mature for your age, me. They couldn't, because there's nothing appealing in somebody that could be my father's age. They're close. There's nothing appealing about me growing up, and the same people that used to call me Lil, insert my daddy name, want me now. Like, that's ill to me. Ill. Like, and it's just so disheartening that there are some girls out here and them men's got them, the same ones that watched y'all grow up, got y'all. That's why I could never, well, I'm 30 now, so, you know, dating an older man, I'm not going to be opposed to it if we in the same, you know, decade, I guess. But when I was younger, what do we got to talk about? I know I'm not mature enough. Like, what? I don't care how grown I think I am. Dating an older man had never been appealing to me, like, at all. Dating young ones wasn't appealing to me. Dating, period, just was confusing. So dating an older man when I was confused, baby, no.
Because to me, like, I used to be, a lot of people don't know that. And I don't care. I used to be a stud. If you pay attention, you've been my friend on TikTok for a while, then you will know that I was in a marriage with a woman for 11 years. I was the man. So when it comes down to it, no, I did not get appreciated. I barely got loved. It was horrible. So that is why some men come out here and be just doing their own thing, don't even care, because, bruh, they experience with it. No woman is just out here trying to help her man. She expects her man to just do for her. And it dawned on me, like, when women were growing up, I don't know one woman that was raised to know how to treat a man. I don't. I know that when I was being raised up and the people around me that was being raised up, our mamas taught us to pay attention what to look for in a man. Pay attention to how or what he has, 6 figures, a car, a house. Nobody taught us how to love him. Nobody taught us how to take care of him when he's down. Nobody taught a woman how to nurture their man the correct way. We were just taught to look. We were just nurturers by nature. Nobody was taught how to nurture no man. But we were definitely taught to look. Pay attention to what your father does. He's got this job, he's got that job, he's got these cars, he's got this house, he takes care of mom. That's all we was taught to look for. And a little bit of love that you see in the house. What the fuck?
This is the root of your unhappiness.
Unhappiness is when your expectations of how life is meant to be going go unmet. And this explains why a kid in Africa who gets rice, I was born in Africa, I was born in Botswana, a kid in Africa who gets rice can be euphoric. But a billionaire in a Michelin star restaurant in West London, his 3 Michelin star steak comes without the sprinkle of dust or whatever they put on it. He will be visibly pissed off and complain because his expectations of the world and how life should be going go unmet. So one of the ways that you can make sure you're happy, it's not Lamborghinis, it's just like having better expectations, reasonable, realistic ones. And this applies for relationships. If you have healthier expectations of your partner, you will have a better relationship. If you have unreasonable expectations of their perfection when you are flawed yourself, you should expect to have a really miserable relationship. They will never meet the expectation. Expectation is the curse of happiness.
If you want to be happy, don't just have reasonable expectations, though. Limit your expectations. Eliminate the unnecessary expectations. Don't lower your standards, but eliminate any expectation that isn't serving you and is getting in the way of your happiness.
That's right. And an expectation is different from a standard. An expectation is an assumption I have about what you would or should do. And that tends to get us in a whole lot of trouble. A standard, on the other hand, is a value that I have, and I choose to enter into agreements with other people in a way that respects and honors those values.
And you know, you also have to look at the one-sided effort and modern women not reciprocating, right? Because, you know, they'll say, well, where are the men at? Why can't I find a man to do X, Y, and Z? Or why is a man not talking to me? How come I can't find a man to do this, this, and this? I want a provider, and all of the list of things that they always want. I can't find that. Well, actually, you can, because once again, the men are everywhere. You just don't notice them because you're looking for, honestly and truly, we probably don't call it this, but a genie is what you're looking for. You're looking for a man to come in and just wipe away all your problems. Okay, with my first wish, I want you to wipe away all my problems and put me in my soft girl era, and I don't want to have any problems ever again. That's actually 3 wishes. But modern women would probably argue a genie down and say, well, that's 1 wish because I said it all in one breath. No, the first wish would have been me wiping your slate clean. All the problems that you have, me wiping that. You want to be put into your soft girl era? That's another wish. And you saying, I want no problems ever again? That's a 3rd wish. So you've actually effectively used all your wishes. No, but because I said it, and like I said, they try to argue you down. That's what modern women do to men. And this is why men just end up opting out and they end up leaving. Because a modern woman will sit up there and argue a man down when a man be dead right about something. This woman is dead wrong. But because the way they see it and what their interpretation is, they'll continue living their life in that way, right? And that's how you have one-sided effort and no reciprocity. Because a modern woman will sit up there and argue, man, no, this is the bare minimum. I deserve this, 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 and this. And a man is like, that's not the bare minimum. I bought you a car. Well, that's what my man should be doing. I'm not your man, though. I'm not your man. Well, you know, that's something that you decided to do. Right, because I wanted to show you that I really liked you. Well, you know, nobody asked you to do that. Regardless if anybody asked me to do it, I still did it. I bought you the car and you're not showing any signs of being grateful. And so when I pull back and say, okay, you know what, you can have the car, or you know what, I pay for your nails, whatever, take your little nails and go on about my business, about your business. Modern women, they don't realize they actually messed up a good opportunity. And if a man has paid for your car or paid your rent or paid any type of bill for you, and that's actually a genuine man, you just messed up your bag because of your bad attitude. That's why a lot of men opt out, because I know I know my effort is not going to be rewarded. I know she really don't like me, and all of the stuff that I'm doing for her is not going to be reciprocated at all.